Nice flag.
They both do.
They look nice.
Ready?
It's good.
Call the town council meeting to order Thursday, June 8th. Janelle, please take the roll.
Councilmember Barker,
Don't know.
Councilmember Brown. Here. Councilmember Lowell.
Here.
Councilmember Michelson.
Here.
And Mayor Gibson.
Here. Pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any public comment on anything that's not on the agenda? Seeing none, oh, go ahead.
Well, I came in to talk to Mayor Gibson, I believe yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah. Anyway, Nancy and I have a project for the summer, and we're gonna get Jim going on it, but we know that you're okay pretty much for the pool this year. So we would like council approval to go ahead and raise funds for next year. We plan on contacting all of our graduates, as many as we can, because most of them learn to swim or take lessons and play down there every single summer. So we're gonna contact all of these people and ask them for a donation, maybe set up something for Kirby Picnic. But they need to be part of this, and I'm sure that most of them will. So Nancy and I are gonna chair this, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I will.
And, anyway, we just thought we'd let you know what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to get jars out in the public where if you have 75 cents, just put her in the jar. Those will add up, and hopefully we can get some money in the funds for next year. I understand the old girl was in need of a lot of repair, and, who knows?
And you might mention that it won't affect, the town.
Oh, the town, yes,
People
thank you.
won't be bringing $5 and it'll all go to Farmers State Bank. We'll set up a thing there. But most of them are out of state, but I've talked to several of them and they're very willing to donate to the cause. And if they need it for staffing this year, whatever, I think it's just a good thing to do.
Depends on how much we can raise for staffing, right? I mean, if we're gonna get
We'll
some
go
right away.
downtown and see if we can.
But we're gonna Facebook it, that way everybody can share it out on their own private Facebook page, to their own little group of friends and see where we can go for there. So we thought that this little gal had been going since 1956, that she was dedicated, so, long time for the old girl. Yeah, we all need a facelift. Thank you.
Well, thank you, we really appreciate it. Also, Sean talked to me that the Civic Club is interested too.
Okay, so we should get together and work with them. Okay,
Thank you,
perfect.
thank you. Any other public comment, not on the agenda? Seeing none, we'll go to approval of minutes. A, town council minutes for 5/11/2023. Councilmember Michelson.
I'd like to make a motion to approve claims 18370 to 1839.
No, we're on minutes.
Oh, minutes, excuse me.
That's okay.
Okay, I make a motion to approve town council meeting minutes for 5/11/2023.
I'll second it.
We have a second from Councilmember Lowe. Any discussion on the minutes? Seeing none, Janelle, please take the vote.
Councilmember Brown. Aye. Councilmember Lowell.
Aye.
And Councilmember Michelson.
Aye.
Passes 3-0. And now we have the special town council meeting minutes for 6/1/2023. Councilmember Michelson.
I make a motion to approve the special town council meeting minutes for 6/1/2023.
Thank you.
Second.
Councilmember Lowe. We have a second. Any discussion on those minutes? Seeing none, Janelle, please take the vote.
Councilmember Brown. Aye. Councilmember Lowell.
Aye.
And Councilmember Michelson.
Aye.
Passes 3-0. We'll go to approval of bi-weekly claims. I think, Janelle, you explained. And when you get a chance, and you see Melanie, and of course you see Janelle, she's really stepped up with these claims. without Pam here, Robert, 10 hours a week. She's done an excellent job. So you're gonna see sometimes, like today, that something was added on, but she's done a really good job. So with that, we'll go to the claims.
I make a motion to approve claims 18370, 18374, 18376, 18386, and I'd like to, I'll make an amendment and approve claims 18387 through 18394.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second? Councilmember Lowe? We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the claims? Councilmember Lowe?
I wouldn't have any problems accepting the claims, but my concern is knowing the status of the line items for these. We don't know as a council whether, how short they are, is there money there?
Well, I think Robert gave you an update, we'll give you another update as to where we are in each place with the budget. We're
Right.
still under budget.
Right, I mean, just for our own use, I guess, because, and what we'll need is an actual, like a revenue that will show what the budget is for each line item. As I just don't want to see a bunch of amendments at the end of the year again, if it can be handled now before the end of this budget
Well,
year.
as far as, in the next council meeting, there's gonna be, we're down in lawnmower. There's gonna be requests for that with existing funds. We've got to order more water meters. That's the only other budget amendment I see for this year
Okay,
at this time, because I talked to Robert about that. As far as the budget goes, we don't have a finance, but we plan on next week, starting with the department heads. We'll give them each the worksheet that we did last year. They
wish list.
what the wish list is. Of course, hopefully some of them want to cut, but we'll start that. And in an executive report, I'll talk a little bit more about that. Okay?
I have on claim 18374, it has SG20 backpack sprayer 70, and then the next line is backpack sprayer again for 70. Was there two backpack sprayers fixed, or is that duplicate?
There's two, and I think it's probably for dandelions, wasn't it?
Both of those were just for using them for walking around the parks and,
Okay, because there was two for string trimmer and two for roll trim.
Yep.
So
just two of each.
Oh, okay, I just didn't know, it looked kind of like it was a duplicate, so.
Any other question on the claims? Seeing none, Janelle, please take the roll.
Councilmember Brown,
I,
Councilmember Lowell,
Aye.
and Councilmember Michelson.
Aye.
Passes 3-0. Of course, we don't have a finance department. Max Sosa is on vacation. Steve Cruz, he'll be here next council meeting. We're short 2 public works people, so they've been a little busy. So the other only report we have is the fire department. Go ahead.
So you guys have in the packet the stat sheet for the month of May last month. Pretty much business as usual, nothing outstanding in those stats. Last night was a little exciting. I don't know why everybody got excited about the whole electrical storm, but we had 6 responses.
I know, I kept
last
hearing
night.
the sirens, I thought, oh
For
no.
whatever reason, nothing real serious. We had a tree fire, nothing major. So that's been the same. Last month we did swift water rescue training. We did some leadership training with retired Colonel Doug Lilly with our officers. He came in and did a presentation for us. And we did auto extrication training as well. So that's all, well underway. The association is planning to put on the 4th of July fireworks show. That's all well underway as well. So that'll be, dark, obviously, after the picnic. And talking with Sean, they moved that later into the afternoon, I believe, from noon. I'm trying to generate more people in the park throughout the afternoon and into the evening hours. So that's all working and going forward. So life as well. The wall for the police department is, well, the exterior wall, the outside wall is built and sheeted, is pretty much put together. We're starting to move back in and reestablish the fire department, get that straightened up, cleaned up, so you can walk through there and work in there again. And then they're moving forward on the interior walls and all that part of it. So that's well underway. Yeah, life's been really good there.
Okay, thank you.
Just one question. What are you up to now, Jeff, for your staff, cadets, firemen?
Staff wise,
No, not staff, how many firemen do you have now?
Volunteers.
What's your roster? What are you up to now?
so our town roster, we're sitting right at about 16. And then if you combine that with the district, I think the total number is right around 45, 46. Total number. Now, if you look at active participants, that number, the reality number is really more like 25.
I just like to say, I think you should be commended along with all your volunteers for all the time and work that you put in. I mean, every time I hear the sirens, I think, oh my gosh, it's dinner time, no dinner again tonight, but I thank you for all your work and keeping us safe.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we don't have any guests. We don't have any correspondence. We're gonna go to the public hearing on resolution number 444. We have one comment to read, but before we do that, when we get to the resolution here, and you have in front of you Mr. Overstreet's comments. We're asking to rescind this because basically it violates the law. But that it isn't our intent not to have a code of conduct for elected officials. So with that, Janelle, we want to read the comment.
Public comment? Sure. Dear Janelle, as I am unable to attend the meeting tonight, I would like to put forth my strong conviction that the above resolution not be rescinded. Having worked in various multiple entities, these resolutions bind municipal staff and contractors to a legal code of conduct. If we remove the right to hold our elected officials and outside contractors accountable for their behavior, then we have opened the door to the old "no one told me I couldn't," and liability will be an open-ended claim. This is in the best interest of the tax-paying public. I am a bit concerned how this resolution would even come up to be rescinded. On what grounds could anyone object to a forthright document mandating integrity? I support keeping resolution 444 intact. Sincerely, Mary Beth Egan, 3592 Sourdough Lane, Stevensville.
In defense of that person, that's why I brought that up. Of course, they don't have available Mr. Overstreet's comments and why this is being done. Is there any other public comment for the public hearing?
Vicky Motley, 318 9th Street. I also agree. I do not think it should be rescinded. I do not know what your comments were, but I think I think everybody needs to be held accountable.
We agree 100%. The reason it's being rescinded is because it violates state and federal law.
How is it a
We'll
violation?
get into that
Okay.
during the period. And there'll be, if you want to comment on when we get to that, that's fine.
Okay.
Any other public comment? Seeing none, we'll go to unfinished business. 10A, discussion decision 2-year extension request for final plat filing deadline for Twin Creek subdivision phase 2. We talked about this, we had some requests about, well, the $300 per lot, for example, for law enforcement. The owner has come forward and written a check for that. We haven't cashed that because you would have to approve this extension. So I don't think we need to go through a demonstration unless you would have, there's a representative here from PCI who presented last time. So basically it's to extend the final plat filing deadline for Twin Creeks Phase 2. They have provided a check for phase, not all of it,
Just for phase 2,
just for
Law
Phase 2,
enforcement.
not Phase 3.
correct.
For safety.
$9,600.
Public.
So with that, if there's a motion or a second or Councilmember Michelson.
I make a motion to approve the 2-year extension request for final plat filing deadline for Twin Creek subdivision phase 2.
Okay,
Second,
Councilmember Lowe,
I'll second that.
second. Any public comment? Any further discussion? Now, please take the vote.
Councilmember Brown,
Abstain.
Councilmember Lowell,
Aye.
and Councilmember Michelson.
Aye.
Passes 2 with 1 abstain. Okay, now we'll get to the discussion decision rescinding resolution number 444. And as I said before, our intent is to have a code of conduct that follows state and federal laws. You have in front of you from Mr. Overstreet, and I can just summarize it basically, but he's here if you have any questions. In summary, it violates First Amendment parts of it, violates free speech parts of it, and it opens up the town to potential lawsuits. So again, the intent is to rescind this. If you go through his comments, I think you'll understand why. But again, our intent is, when this is, if this is rescinded, we will put together, and I've asked Councilmember Michelson, and we have a finance officer to join with her and myself to do a code of conduct that meets those guidelines of the state and federal laws. And they're pretty much in the codes. With that, do you have any questions, Mr. Overstreet? Seeing none, is there any further public comment? Seeing none, I need a motion and a second. Councilmember Michelson.
I make a motion to rescind resolution number 444, the code of conduct.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll
Councilmember
second.
Lowe. Okay. Any further discussion? Councilmember Michelson.
I was on the council in 2018 when this was brought forward, and I had a lot of issues with it then. Some parts were good, but a lot of parts were bad. In fact, they were used to put me on trial, and one of the parts were in there that was in the code of conduct specifically stated that a council member had to have approval from the mayor to talk to the finance officer. And of course, I fought with the prior administration over that one, and didn't win, so I got put on trial for that, and a couple other things, but
Well, there's.
I personally tried to rescind it in 2018. I brought it back up for reconsideration, and I got voted down 2-1 by 2 other council members. So,
Well, there's also a thing in there, you can't speak badly of me even in your dreams.
Good boy.
And I agree, we have to be held accountable.
Oh, absolutely.
And the ethics that's in the MCA code is very broad-based. I mean, it's just generic language.
Absolutely.
It's not written down into specifics that can be used
Absolutely.
for guidelines.
Okay, any other further discussion?
So we are going to bring up a new resolution for code of
The
conduct.
resolution is to get rid of the existing.
Right, but we are going to place a new one.
Yes.
And do you have any idea when that will be or?
Well, like I get a finance officer to start the budget as soon as possible, but I'm not gonna guarantee what date that will be.
I was just
But
curious.
again, we'll involve Mr. Michelson, finance officer, we have one, and myself.
Okay.
Okay? Janelle, please take the vote.
Councilmember Brown,
Aye.
and Councilmember Michelson.
Aye.
Passes 3-0. B, discussion decision, real estate transfer block 1, lot 6 and 7, between Mr. Reckley to Tall Timber Dwelling Service. you're free to go. You only get paid for, well, we'll see, maybe 16 minutes? Have drive time?
Everyone hates lawyers, but that's the first person they call when they get in trouble.
All right,
Not that you've ever been in trouble.
thank you, Mr. Overstreet, for your work. Councilmember Michelson.
I make a motion to approve the real estate transfer of Block 1, Lot 6 and 7 between Mr. Breckley and Tall Timber Flying Service.
Is there a second? Councilmember Brown?
I'll make the second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any public comment? Seeing none, any further discussion? Councilmember Lowell?
And this has been approved through the airport board. I mean, I've often wondered now, do the new people that are up at the airport know all the procedures and the business license and land leases and,
They approved it, and there's a couple on there that do know all that.
I,
There's a couple that do not.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of me, like I do not either. Okay? And, go ahead.
Just one other thing, this is going to be a new lease for those lots, correct, Janelle?
Sure.
Yes, okay, the way it was stated, I just
Yeah.
wanted to clarify, it's going to be a new lease.
Yep, sure.
And then he can transfer the personal property by
Through the title company. Yeah.
bill of sale, yes.
Bill of sale, thank you. Yeah.
Please take the vote, Janelle.
Councilmember Brown?
Aye.
Councilmember Lowell?
I,
And Councilor Michelson?
Aye.
Passes 3-0. C, discussion decision approval of a new land lease, Block 2, Lot 9, to Museum of Mountain Climbing. Councilmember Michelson.
I make a motion to approve a new land lease, Block 2, Lot 9, to the Museum of the Mountain Flying.
Thank you.
I'll second
Councilmember
that.
Lowell, second. Any discussion, any public comment? Councilmember Brown.
On this new lease, is that the new amount, that 14 cents per square foot?
Yes.
Okay, I forgot to check that out.
Yeah, I checked it with Mr. Underwood and we double checked that as well.
Okay, wonderful, thank you.
Okay. Janelle, please take the vote.
Councilmember Brown?
Aye.
Councilmember Lowell?
Aye.
And Councilor Michelson?
Aye.
Passes 3-0. Discussion decision contract for carpet cleaning services. I think we do this once. We brought it to you. We probably, but we just, to be open, I think it's what, $600?
There's there's two different ones and two different bids in there.
Two bids. I don't know if people are aware that we don't pay for any janitorial services. The people that work here do it all, including bathrooms, carpet. So we're not
We need
spending,
this little help here.
so that's what it is. Is there a motion? Councilmember
I
Michelson.
make a motion to approve the contract for carpet cleaning services.
We have a motion, second. Is there a second?
I'll make the second for the
Okay,
carpet
we have a
cleaning.
motion and a second.
Thank you.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Janelle, please take the vote.
You guys are talking fast. Councilmember Brown?
Aye.
Councilmember Lowell?
Aye.
And Councilor Michelson?
Aye.
Passes 3-0. We'll go to council comments. Any council comments?
Sorry,
Seeing
that was in the
none.
wrong order, guys.
I'll go to the executive report just briefly. Just another update on, we're very close on the water rights. It looks like we got rid of our last objector, Trout Unlimited, that we're kind of concerned about. So in talking to Attorney Ross Miller, I think we could be there by August. Hopefully the latest September. All the objectors, through Ross, through us, through all that, they've all basically gone away. So I'm pretty confident that that's good, and that's a big deal for Stevensville. It's been going on for years. The Barca extra money, somebody's supposed to call me next week with what the actual formula is and what the distribution date is. The best I can, and I can't guarantee it, I'm thinking we're gonna get another 150, maybe 175,000. on top of some we have left over. So I'd like to get bids out this summer. We start doing some streets. The ARPA grant for fixing the leaks. We're supposed to have an update, I believe, in a week or so
We'll meet with them, I
with the
think, next Monday or Tuesday.
timelines, and we're shooting to be, it's gotta go through the designs, some of it's been done. We're shooting for a date of August
HDR is doing it, all that.
to get the bids out. And the main start will be with the leaks. And as I said before, we'll start with the department heads next week, hopefully, to get them their sheets on the budget, and we'll go for there. But there's a possibility, and I'll know tomorrow, we might have a finance officer. And I'll let you know as soon as I know. I don't believe there are any board reports. The airport board meets next week.
Yep.
With that, we're adjourned. So yeah, once we find out, I'll